There's nothing more annoying, and slightly terrifying, than trying to solve a puzzle in Raccoon City's police station only for an invincible walking tank of a man to come speed walking toward you and chase you around. You can't kill this tyrant, and he never seems to leave you alone, so what can you do? We've got some essential tips for how to deal with Mr. X. In the regular story playthrough, Mr. X shows up right after you manage to douse the burning helicopter when coming down from the roof, and will pursue you almost relentlessly up until you leave the police station entirely. The most important thing to note is that Mr. X cannot physically follow you into a number of rooms. These include the first floor interrogation and observation rooms, the dark room and boiler safe rooms, as well as everything past the watchman's office. He will also stop from entering the chief's office and Star's office on the second floor, and the clock tower on the third floor. The good news is, when inside these rooms, he won't just wait outside, but go back to patrolling. You can even peek out the door to see which way he eventually heads, and make sure to take the opposite path. As it turns out, Mr. X can lose track of you, especially if you pass through several rooms quickly or duck into a room he can't enter. If he doesn't know where you are, he tends to start patrolling the longer hallways in the east and west side, as well as the main hall and library, but rarely checks the smaller rooms unless he's already on your tail. But what about when he finds you elsewhere? As mentioned before, no amount of damage you deal can ever truly kill him, but enough shots temporarily incapacitate him. Around 10 headshots from a handgun can sometimes do the trick, but once you see him drop to one knee, you only have around 30 seconds before he gets back up. In extreme cases, a single headshot from Leon's Magnum will also stagger him for several moments, letting you run right past him. That being said, wasting ammo on him is a big risk, so only do it if you're totally cornered or want to be absolutely sure he won't be following you into a room with something you need to find. Otherwise, if you need to get around him, bait out one of his strong lunging punches, and he'll pause for a moment before standing back up, letting you run right past him. If you need to shake him, keep running through rooms to break his line of sight. If he doesn't have a straight path to you, he won't be speedwalking. You also want to be sure not to race through corridors with him on your tail if there are enemies present too, or things will get bloody fast. For more info on how to survive your time in Raccoon City, be sure to check out our wiki guide, and for everything else, stick with IGN.